Is Call of Duty Mobile pay to win? Pay to win has been a huge problem in the last few years, especially with certain game companies who I won't name, but you know. Now, what is the definition of pay to win? Some people might argue that pay to win is any system where a player can purchase something that is not superficial or cosmetic. Others might say that pay to win is when real money equals in-game benefits. You buy things other players can't just by playing or skipping a grind. By those definitions, Call of Duty Mobile would be considered a pay-to-win game. My definition of pay-to-win is where the alternative, which is not paying, has such a significant disadvantage to the player base by making it unbalanced. The two words, significant and balanced, are important in this definition, and I'll explain why here in a little bit. Like I said, pay-to-win has been such a huge problem recently, and has just struck so much controversy in the gaming atmosphere. To prove this, I did a poll here on YouTube in which I asked you guys, do you think Call of Duty Mobile is pay to win? And out of 2,300 votes, 29% of you guys said yes, while 71% of you guys said no. As you can see here by the results, it is divided, with more people leaning towards the side of Call of Duty Mobile being not pay to win. I'll get to your guys' comments on this topic here later on in the video, but for now, I'm going to set up two scenarios. Scenario 1. Imagine you have two players engaging in a gunfight. Both of these players mimic each other exactly. They have the same guns, same perks, they aim in the exact same place as each other, and they shoot at each other at the same time. Everything is the same. In this situation, both players would theoretically kill each other, leaving no victors. This type of gameplay would be balanced. Scenario 2. Imagine you have two players engaging in a gunfight. Both of these players mimic each other exactly, except for one thing. They have the same perks, they aim in the same exact place as each other, and they shoot at each other at the same time, but player A has an AK-47 without red action, which grants the player a weapon perk that increases weapon firing range, while player B has an AK-47 with red action. In this situation, player B would kill player A due to the accuracy of the weapon being increased. This type of gameplay would be unbalanced. Like I said, balanced was one word I wanted you guys to remember from my definition. The other one was significance. For right now, there's no percentages given on how much the firing range has been increased when using an AK-47 with red action, but through the testing I've done, I wouldn't say it's significant. Currently, there are 4 other types of weapon perks. One perk will allow weapon kills to grant a chance to reload one bullet into the magazine. The second perk will increase movement speed slightly for a little while upon respawning. The third perk allows weapon kills to increase movement speed. And the fourth and final perk allows critical hits to slow down enemies slightly. Now you can get these weapon perks on some weapons through earning them on the free battle pass or through opening up a crate, which is sometimes given away on a daily basis, but for some weapons you have to pay COD points in order to get them with those perks. Before I get into what you guys have to say, I'll give you guys my own personal opinion. I won't say yes and I won't say no. I'll just say that it's very borderline. The perk which allows you to increase movement speed slightly for a little while upon respawning bugs me, because if you're playing the game mode Domination, for example, you can rotate faster to capturing positions, which will just help in winning a match. Also, the perk which allows weapon kills to increase movement speed seems a bit unfair on the surface, because if someone keeps racking up kills, the more overpowered this player will become. But, you know, without knowing these percentages of changes that we're having with these weapon perks, there's no way to determine how significant they are. So with that said, I'm very borderline with answering whether or not Call of Duty Mobile is pay to win or not. It's like, in some circumstances, I think it is, but in others, I think it isn't. But with that said, we might as well get into what you guys have to say. So as of right now, there's 117 comments that you guys left on this poll here that I did on YouTube. And I want to give a huge shout out to all you guys that went and left your own comments on whether or not you believe Call of Duty Mobile is pay to win, or if you don't believe it is. But here, we might as well go and read some of the responses right now. So this is almost going to be like a discussion almost. It's going to be a laid-back discussion. So we might as well begin with the first one here from Hey, it's JJ. He says, heck no. The perks in the game are not significant, and any good player could destroy a guy with a black gold M4 with a pistol and get a nuke. The game is easy but takes skill, and a gun can't give you those skills. So just based off his comment there, it's interesting because like I said, in my definition, significance and balanced, he said that the perks are not significant enough to have a player gain an advantage over someone else. So that's JJ's take on it. I would actually agree with that part of the message there. Whether or not it takes any good player could destroy a guy with a gun that might have a special perk ability on it, I don't know. It like just depends on the overall circumstance. But then again, thank you JJ for your response there. I appreciate it. Nitrix response says yes, so it's the opposite of JJ here. He says, COD Mobile is still somewhat pay to win. If you buy the premium battle pass, you get a lot of experience cards compared to the free version that you can use to upgrade weapons, with in turn advantages you in multiplayer mode combats. Also, some high tier bins and guns have attached perks, which makes the game a bit unfair. Well, these mistakes can be easily corrected by limiting skins to just a cosmetic item. And I agree with a couple things here. I agree with the final statement in which he said, just as long as you limit the skins to only cosmetic and you don't have perk weapons, because it is kind of confusing. I don't really know why they would go and have weapon perks at all. But I would be perfectly fine. Like, if there was an item on the Call of Duty mobile store that just looked really awesome and it didn't really have any special ability or anything like that, then yeah, I'd be willing to go and spend my money towards getting something like that. But obviously, if there's like a weapon perk that is insanely overpowering, in which it's like, let's say for example there's a weapon perk out there that will increase the amount of damage that you can do to someone, obviously at that point then yes, it would be somewhat pay to win. But like he said here in the beginning, Call of Duty Mobile is still somewhat pay to win. I would agree with that, man. It's very borderline, you know. It is somewhat paid to win for a certain extent. And it's interesting that he brought up the example of if you buy the premium battle pass, you get a lot of experience cards, which kind of goes back to the previous definition of one of the other definitions of a guy on Reddit on what he thought pay to win meant. But nevertheless, Nitric, thank you for your response. Next, we have Gaming with Gregory, who is also another Call of Duty mobile YouTuber. If you guys want to go and check him out, feel free to go and do so. He makes a lot of great Call of Duty mobile content, but his response was no. The perks that you get from paid skins are so small that it does not significantly affect gameplay. There is no difference strong enough to make the gun give an unfair advantage. And this is almost exactly like what I said here. It all comes down to the significance of what these weapon perks do. So like he said, it just isn't at the point where it gives people an unfair advantage. So Gaming with Gregory, thank you oh so very much for leaving in your response there. This next one is coming from Zaid, and this one's kind of funny. He said, a game by Tencent and Timmy pay to win? No, bro, not possible. Obviously, a little bit of sarcasm there, but then again, he's saying that obviously in the past they must have done something like this. I'm not super familiar with their future at all, of what those companies did and how they implemented pay to win in a previous game. We might as well go on to the next one here by Julian. He said, I said no because at the same time also yes. So he's pretty much borderline like me. COD Mobile will have supply drops, but nobody knows if the new weapons will be in the store and the supply drops or accessible through playing the game. So he's saying it's all up in the air for right now. And I actually kind of agree with him. And I kind of want to make this statement alongside what he said here too. It's really important that we don't cross this line into the pay to win aspect of the game. Like I said, this is all very borderline, and it only takes one weapon perk, such as something that will deal more damage to an enemy, or something that will just significantly affect the gameplay, to then at that point make this game, technically, by my definition, a pay-to-win game. So it only takes one final step for them to reach that point. And it's kind of like what Julian here is saying, in which it's all up in the air. It just depends on what the global release for this game will look like, because upon that going and happening, it'll be interesting to see what decisions they make from a pay-to-win aspect. Like, will they add in weapon perks that will then make the game pay to win, or will they kind of reduce and fall back on some of the weapon perks or completely remove them? It's going to be interesting to go and find out, and I guess we'll just have to go and see in just the future there. So thank you, Julian, for that. I'm not really a big fan of these weapon perks. I would really love to know what you guys think about them in the comments section down below. I would be perfectly fine with them just having really awesome looking skins for your character, for your weapons, like really deck it out, make it vibrant, even like make the skins vibrant. Like, don't take things super serious. Like, the one thing that I want them to do that I feel like Call of Duty Black Ops 4's Blackout mode failed to do, make the characters more fun. You know, like, you don't have to just bring back characters from the Call of Duty franchise. You can have just like characters with, I don't know, just like cool accessories. Like, they're wearing things that aren't truly military based, but just like fun little items that people can wear and have, and just like, you know, just mess around. Like, it's a video game at the end of the day. It's not supposed to be anything super serious, so I feel like adding in some stuff that just makes the game more fun, that's what will incentivize people to go and purchase things. Do you think Call of Duty Mobile is pay to win? Feel free to go and let me know. But with that said, if you guys are new around here, be sure to go and subscribe for future Call of Duty Mobile videos, as well as if you did enjoy this video, be sure to go and give it a like, as well as feel free to go and check out any of the other videos that you guys are seeing on screen right now. But with that said, my name is Parker. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful and fabulous day, 'cause I certainly am, and I guess I'll talk to you guys in the next video.